My cousin tried to ruin my engagement, but ended up ruining her own life instead. Story time. So I recently got engaged to Steve, who is literally my soulmate. So enter Amy. Amy is my cousin. So anyway, Steve ended up proposing. It was absolutely incredible. It was beautiful, private, really everything that we had both always wanted. Now, when we posted our engagement pictures on Instagram, Amy called me within 3 seconds of it going live. Yes, I counted. Screaming congratulations. It's like fake happiness. When we were planning our engagement party, all of our family and friends were really supportive. They offered to help if we needed anything. It was all good vibes. The night of the engagement party rolls round and Amy turns up an hour and a half late, wearing a literal white ball gown. Ball gown. Ball gown. I really hope someone gets that reference. Everyone's whispering, cringing. Amy is doing the most. And we had this moment where we were all sort of doing some speeches. Amy stands up, uninvited, and grabs the mic and says, "Before we toast to the happy couple, I think you all deserve to know the truth." The room goes dead silent. Amy continues and goes, "Steve and I dated years ago, and I guess some people are just okay with having sloppy seconds. Except the problem is that was just a big fat lie." Steve looks at her and goes, "Amy, I've literally met you once at a family barbecue in which you were blackout drunk and you tried to kiss me whilst holding a rack of ribs." Oh, and then her boyfriend, yep, she had a boyfriend in which they had been together for the past 2 years. He stands up and goes, "Well, Amy, you told me you're over your ex, but clearly not." Walks up to her, throws his drink on her, and walks out. Amy bursts into tears. She flees the party. Her boyfriend obviously dumped her the next day. Her friends and family took my side, obviously, and they were all absolutely mortified. Her dad has disowned her, and her friends have actually told me that they are scared of her. So was Amy's real plan to destroy my relationships or her own?
Am I in the wrong for exposing my coworker who faked a pregnancy just to get a closer parking spot? I, 30 female, work at a large corporate office where the parking lot is a nightmare. If you don't get there super early, you're stuck parking in the overflow lot, which adds a good 10 to 15 minute walk to the building. There are a few reserved spots up front for expectant mothers, a nice perk if you genuinely need it. About 4 months ago, a new girl, Tina, 27 female, joined our company. Within a few weeks, she started parking in the maternity spots. She didn't make any big announcements about being pregnant, but she dropped little hints, rubbing her stomach, complaining about cravings, talking about baby brain. She started wearing baggy, flowy tops, but honestly, she didn't look noticeably pregnant. Still, nobody really questioned it because, well, who wants to risk being the jerk who doubts a pregnant woman? At first, I just thought, good for her, she's making life a little easier while growing a human. But then I overheard her laughing with one of her close friends in the break room. She joked that parking in the maternity spot was the best scam ever and that being single and child-free was exhausting enough without having to hike from the back lot. My jaw dropped. She admitted that she wasn't pregnant. She was just using the maternity spots for convenience. I sat on it for a couple days, feeling conflicted. Part of me wanted to mind my own business. Another part of me thought about actual pregnant women struggling to find parking because someone was lying to get a closer spot. In the end, I anonymously reported her to HR. Turns out, they investigated, asked her for a doctor's note to continue using the maternity parking, which she obviously couldn't produce. She was issued an official warning for dishonest behavior and told not to use the spots again. They even emailed the entire company a reminder that those spaces are reserved only for legitimately expectant mothers with medical documentation. Tina found out that someone had reported her, and although she doesn't know it was me specifically, she's been in a foul mood ever since. She's made passive-aggressive comments like, "Some people just can't mind their own damn business," and has recruited a few coworkers to ice me out socially. Some mutual friends are split. Half say she deserved it and I did the right thing. The other half say that I was petty, that it wasn't hurting anyone, and that I should have just let it go. Now I'm wondering if I overreacted. I didn't do it to be spiteful. I honestly just hated seeing someone cheat a system meant to help people who genuinely needed it. But was it really worth all of this workplace drama? Am I in the wrong for canceling our romantic vacation after my boyfriend secretly invited his mom without telling me? I, 26 female, have been dating my boyfriend, Kyle, 28 male, for a little over a year. Things have been going really well, and we decided to take a romantic trip together. A week-long beach vacation, just the two of us. It was going to be our first big trip, and I was so excited. We carefully picked a resort known for being peaceful, adults only, private villas with pools, super romantic vibes. I spent hours helping plan it, even picking activities like spa days, private dinners, and sunset cruises. Kyle seemed excited too. Fast forward to 2 weeks before the trip. I'm at his place and overhear him on the phone. I wasn't eavesdropping, but I heard him say, "Yeah, you'll love the beach, and the resort has great food, Mom." I immediately froze. After he hung up, I asked, "Wait, was that your mom?" He got a weird look on his face and sheepishly admitted that he had invited her to come along. Not only that, but he had booked her into our room. Yes, our private villa. the one with a king-size bed and a romantic couples package. He said he thought it would be fun to have her there because she needed a vacation and he didn't want her to feel left out. Apparently, he figured we could just adjust. She could sleep on the pull-out couch in the villa and we could still sneak in alone time. I was speechless. I asked him why he didn't even discuss it with me, and he said, because I knew you'd say no. Which, yes, I absolutely would have. I told him that bringing his mom on what was supposed to be a romantic vacation was wildly inappropriate. He argued that family's important, and said I was being selfish for not wanting to share the experience. After thinking it over for a night, I decided to cancel the trip altogether. I called the resort, explained the situation. They were surprisingly sympathetic, and got a partial refund. Instead, I used my vacation days to take a little solo trip at a nearby spa hotel for a few days of peace. Kyle is furious. His mom is furious. His sister texted me saying that I humiliated him and that good girlfriends embrace family, not reject them. Meanwhile, half of my friends say I dodged a bullet and should seriously rethink the relationship. The other half say I should have compromised somehow to keep the peace. Kyle is still reaching out, saying that he didn't mean for it to get this bad and that I overreacted. But honestly, I feel like the trust is broken. And so is the whole point of the trip.
My crazy ex moved next door to me and tried to pretend that it was a coincidence. Story time. So, me and Steve had dated for about 2 years. And Hans, when I tell you those red flags were everywhere, they were waving in the wind. Jealous, clingy, needed to know where I was at all times. The breakup was ugly. Fast forward 6 months, I'm doing so much better. I have my own little flat. I've made a life for myself. Until one Saturday morning, I get a knock at my door. I open it. Who is it? Fucking Steve, holding a tray of muffins. He smiles there, standing like an absolute weirdo, and goes, "Hey stranger," or should I say neighbour. I really thought in that moment of time I was hallucinating. Turns out he had found my location from a mutual friend who had tagged their location when they were at my house and specifically requested to rent the flat next door to me because he believed that it was a sign from the universe that it had come up on Rightmove. Sir, the only thing the universe is sending you right now is a restraining order. Now, at first, I tried to be polite. I just thought, I'm going to have to learn to live with this. He's in a contract. Maybe Steve will do the same. No. Steve took this as an open invitation to fully insert himself into my life. He would coincidentally take his bins out at the exact same time as me, bumping into me every morning before I went to work. The worst one was when he would play our favourite song together on repeat at full volume all night. It got so bad that I had to change my entire routine in the hopes of avoiding Steve. But here's where the plot twist comes in. One day I get a knock at my door at 9 o'clock in the evening. It was Amy, Steve's new girlfriend. And Girly was mad. Steve had told her that I was the one chasing him everywhere. She's like, just because you can't move on doesn't mean you have to affect everyone else's life. She demanded that I stop showing up at his place. And she had come to warn me. I thought, oh girl is in. So I invited her in, sat her down, and explained everything to this girl. I showed her our screenshots, our texts, even showed her the fucking muffins that I put in the bin, got the playlist up. Bless this poor girl. Amy's face literally shattered. 2 weeks later, this man, gone. It was as if he had moved out overnight like some sort of ghost. And once again, I am living peacefully alone with a bottle of pepper spray by my door. And since Steve's left, me and Amy have actually become quite good friends. You'll have to let me know if you guys have had any of these weird situations. Love ya. Am I the arsehole for telling my non-binary husband to change his clothes because they're embarrassing? Story time. My husband recently came out as non-binary with he/him pronouns. The issue here is not his non-binariness, it's the fact that he cannot hold down a job. And now we are facing losing our house because we cannot financially live on my paycheck. He left his last job due to discrimination. To be blunt, my husband is very, very open. He talks about things that should not be spoken about at work. So for a little bit of a visual here, my husband has really, really long hair. He loves to wear makeup and he wears really, really out there things. He loves sparkles, sequins, glitter, high heels, the lot. So today my husband has a job interview. It's pretty much if he does not secure this job, we're going to lose our house. We were talking about it last night and he says that he wants to wear makeup for the interview, which is absolutely fine. But admittedly, I was cringing inside knowing the type of makeup he likes to wear. So this morning, Steve walks out of our bathroom happily showing off these red glitter thigh-high boots. Wow, he's going all kinky boots with it. Wow. He has sparkly bright pink eyeshadow on and this really, really big cat eyeliner. And I was like, ooh, babe, is that what you're wearing to your interview? He immediately gets defensive with me and started yelling at me before sulking over to the sink to wash his face. He took off the kinky boots and put on some Doc Martens. Here's the thing, I don't care what my husband wears as long as he is comfortable and happy. It's just on days like this where I know I need him to be a little bit more toned down. And to be quite frank, I feel terrible asking him to down-dress himself. It was already really, really hard to find jobs to take him seriously before he fully came out due to his super long hair. I don't know why long hair makes a difference in the workplace, but here we are. So what do you think about this situation? Am I the arsehole?
Am I in the wrong for moving out without notice after my roommate secretly rented out my bedroom as an Airbnb? I, 25 female, lived with my roommate Heather, 26 female, for about a year. We weren't best friends, but we got along well enough. Or so I thought. We split chores, bills were always paid on time, and we gave each other space. It was honestly a pretty good setup. About a month ago, I decided to spend the weekend visiting my parents in another city. I let Heather know in advance, like I always do, just out of courtesy. When I came back on Sunday evening, there were strangers in my room, sleeping in my bed. At first, I thought I had the wrong apartment. That's how surreal it was. Turns out, while I was away, Heather decided to list my bedroom on Airbnb to make a little extra cash, without asking, without telling me. When I confronted her, she looked at me like I was being dramatic. Relax, I moved your important stuff into the hall closet so nothing would get damaged. You weren't using the room anyway, and we could all use the extra money. Besides, they gave you a 5-star review of how cozy it was. I was stunned. She had taken pictures of my room, my personal things, my bed, my decor, and posted them online for total strangers to see. She had strangers sleeping in my sheets, going through my stuff, in my private space without permission. I didn't yell, I didn't argue. I just packed a weekend bag, grabbed my laptop and valuables, and went to crash at a friend's place. Over the next 2 weeks, I quietly found a new apartment. I gave no notice. I didn't pay last month's rent. I left a simple note on the kitchen counter the day I officially moved my stuff out. Heather, renting out my private bedroom without my permission was a massive violation of trust. I no longer feel safe living here. Effective immediately, I'm terminating my share of the lease. Good luck. Heather absolutely lost it. She's been blowing up my phone and even tried showing up at my place. I didn't let her in, claiming that I screwed her financially and abandoned my responsibilities. Some of our mutual friends are torn. A few agree that what she did was insane, but others think I should have handled it more maturely and at least helped her find a replacement roommate. So, am I in the wrong?